What is up, everyone? Welcome to How to Draw the Head. Make sure to head over to the website and grab the free worksheets. You don't have to sign up for the mailing list or anything. Load the PDF and print it out. Even if you work digitally, usually, just do these exercises by hand. I think it'll be immensely helpful to you. I recommend that you use a pencil and erase away as many times as you need to. I'll be using a blue pencil and a pen because it shows up better on the video so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I also find that inking helps me see where I'm making mistakes. Sometimes it's easy to smudge around pencil and make it seem like you're doing it accurately. But if you're just doing these exercises the first time, I do recommend starting with pencil. Now for page 1. On page 1, we're starting by drawing the sphere. The reason why we're starting with this major form is that it's the major building block for drawing the head. So this is the key component to learning how to draw the head from any angle. This is a very challenging exercise, so make sure to take your time, erase away as many times as you need to. As you can see, I screwed up this exercise a few times as well because this is very hard to do. So don't feel bad if this is challenging. Make sure to keep in mind that this isn't just a circle, this is a sphere. That's why we're drawing the outer side, defining the shape of it by also drawing the back side, right? So if you look at the top 3 rows of spheres, you can see a light line that goes through the back side, and that's because I want to make sure that my brain is aware of the fact that this is a 3D form, it's not just a circle. That's why we're doing these exercises, to help our heads, our brains, to understand that this is a 3D form, and being able to wrap your mind around the fact that it is a sphere will be immensely helpful with drawing everything. So this, since it's a major form, you will be able to use this skill in almost all your drawing, right? Anything that involves organic forms in perspective will involve some sort of sphere somewhere, right? It'll help you a lot. In the last 3 rows, you can see that the spheres have been cut and adjusted so that we can see the inner sides of it, like different slivers. And this will give you some idea of how you'll be able to use the sphere in all your drawing, right? You can use these building blocks for drawing different things. I know that this topic isn't particularly exciting. This first page isn't something that you would post online, right? It's not super exciting, but it's immensely helpful. This is the major skill in drawing anything that has an organic shape, right? Even a lot of mechanical things tend to have spheres in them, right? Like anything with a circular window would, in perspective, have a sphere. So don't skip this. I know it's tempting to skip over the things that are dry and difficult, but it's these things that will allow you to do the more fun things, right? If you really love shading and adding highlights and all these things, those things only sit on top of the foundational skills of drawing proper forms. So I recommend that you split your time between doing difficult things like these worksheets and also more fun things, right? So do both every day, and that way you'll improve while also having fun. And doing those things in tandem will help you immensely. Now once you're done that, move on to page number 2. So for page number 2, we're going to draw more spheres, but this time we're defining the direction the head is facing, right? So we're going to shave away some of the sides because we're not using a perfect sphere when drawing the head. We're shaving off the sides. So you can see at the top, I've shown you an example. We're in step number 2 in the process. So you can see how eventually this will turn into a head, right? So this skill will become immensely useful when you draw the head. So for defining the direction, we're drawing a brow line at the front, and we have this circle that is actually flat on the sphere that defines the side. So if you look at these spheres, you have some idea of where the head is facing, right? You can see that the first one, we're seeing the head from a slightly upward angle, right? We're looking up at it because we're seeing the underside of the sphere. And then in some of them, you can see the top side. That means we're looking down at the head. And this, understanding this step will help us draw the head from any angle. Make sure to get the brow line and the midline on these examples as close to perfect as you can, because this will become an important component for drawing the eyes and the rest of the features down the road. I don't like spending too much time on theory. I think doing these types of worksheets is the way to learn how to draw. Theory helps once you have the basic building blocks, but copying these examples is the way you'll be able to learn really quickly. These worksheets are also designed so that you practice a variety of head tilts, right? It's very tempting to draw the same head over and over again, but doing practice this way, using this worksheet, will help you develop a variety of head angles and develop a deeper understanding of how to draw the head from any angle. Make sure to take your time on this. I know I'm going fairly quickly, and that's because I don't think talking about theory helps too much, right? Just doing these worksheets will help you more than watching any video. That's just fact. Learning how to draw is a skill. It's not something you learn in theory, it's something you do in practice, right? So once you're done page number 2, move on to page number 3. If it takes you a long time to do the first 2 pages, take the time to do it correctly, right? If it takes you months to do this, take the time to do it. It'll help you a lot. I wish I learned it step by step, right? I'm making these worksheets because I learned it the wrong way, and now I'm going back and spending way more time than I needed to if I had just learned it properly the first time, right? If I had taken the time to learn proper spheres in the beginning, then I wouldn't have to go back and waste more time. So do it properly the first time will save you a lot of time down the road. Now on to page number 3, we're adding in the jaw and the neck. At the top, you can see that I've shown you the examples of what it is that I'm adding to the sphere that we drew earlier. So use the process that we used for the last 2 pages and now add in a jaw and a neck. Just copying these examples will help you develop an understanding, right? So I'm showing you each step of the process on a separate page, 1 page at a time, so that your brain will get used to each step and make it feel really natural to draw the head from any angle. Keep doing these exercises until they feel comfortable, until you feel comfortable drawing this specific part of the process, right? So don't skip ahead, don't try to add in the eyes or the nose, just stay on this step until it's very easy for you. I like to add a shadow underneath the jaw to help define the shape and show where the shadow would land. Once you've taken the time to get comfortable with this step in the process, let's move on to the last page. Now moving on to page number 4, we're adding in the eye sockets. You can see I've shown examples at the top that show you what it is that we're adding. You want to add a space underneath the brow line for where the eyes will go. This is the last step in the process, so once you've gotten this down, you've got the basic head shape down. If you're interested in more worksheets, I do have an 11-page PDF that is available on the same page that you got the free worksheets that has heads from different angles. I made this PDF to make sure that I have a way of practicing heads from different angles on a regular basis. I strongly believe in building systems of improvement to make sure that you have an easy way to practice things that are difficult, right? So setting up a system where you're essentially forced to do things that are slightly outside your comfort zone on a regular basis will allow you to grow immensely over a long period of time. You want to think of your learning as a compound interest, right? Even if you do very little every single day, it will add up a lot in the end. So once you've done these worksheets, make sure to take time to draw from reference, use whatever tools necessary to improve your drawing ability. And that's it for this tutorial. If you're interested in more of these worksheets and more of these types of tutorials, stick around. I'll be doing the rest of the human anatomy just the same way that I've done this. So I'm going to have free worksheets available for you guys. So make sure to stick around. Thank you guys so much for checking this out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.